All right, I'm here at Forsyth Park in Savannah, Georgia, and check out this view. This is an adorable park. I don't know if, maybe you can hear it. There's some bugs in the trees that are making all kinds of noise, and I don't know what kind of bugs they are. So if you're in Georgia or you know what these are, let me know. They sound kind of like cicadas. I don't know if that's a thing here or not, but yeah, hopefully you can still hear me over all of that. You're not here for that. You're here to learn how Medicare works in Georgia. So let's talk about that. Let's start with the supplement plan side of the conversation. So here in Georgia, you have the same national standard rules when we're talking about supplement plans. However, you are an issue age state. So remember, there are 3 ways that supplement plans can be issued. The first would be attained age. That is the most common. This is where your rates will increase because you have a birthday, and you're going to get an annual increase just because of rising healthcare costs and inflation. So with attained age, you could see up to 2 increases per year. The other is community rated. That's where it's not based on your age. A 65-year-old is paying the same as a 105-year-old. You're still getting 1 increase for those adjusted annual costs that are going to come from rising healthcare costs and inflation. And then the last is issue age, which applies here in Georgia. Now, issue age, your rates are dependent on when you are issued your plan, your Medicare plan. So for example, a 67-year-old, there are 67-year-old rates. There are 65-year-old rates. If you go on Medicare at 65, that rate is going to be lower than if you were to go on Medicare at 67. Now, the way that this differs from attained age plans is, let's say you go on Medicare and you take a supplement plan at 67. When you turn 68 with an issue age plan, you do not see a bump because of your birthday, because you attained a new age of 68. You're not seeing a bump with an issue age plan. Now, you still see the annual increase from insurance companies because of rising healthcare costs and inflation. So that's the thing that people get messed up with issue age plans, is like, oh, I want the plan that doesn't increase. And it's like, well, they all increase regardless of how you get them. It's just how they're increasing. Now, issue age plans typically start a little bit higher than attained age plans, and they're a little bit lower than community rated plans. So if a 65-year-old in the country were looking to get a supplement plan G, the national average is $150 per month. Here in Georgia, you're right at that average. You're at $150 per person per month for a 65-year-old, and that's actually really good considering you're an issue age state. For Plan N, the national average is $120 per month. Here in Georgia, the average is $130 per month. So a little bit higher on Plan N actually, and not a big gap between Plan N and Plan G like you might see in other states. With those supplement plan costs, there are also opportunities to find discounts. Now, insurance companies will often offer discounts such as a household discount and a multi-insured discount. What that means is that, let's say you and your spouse are on the same insurance company for your supplement plan. Then that insurance company will often offer household discounts. Another discount is if you're willing to wear a fitness tracker like a smartwatch or a Fitbit or an iWatch, and then sync that with the insurance company so they can see that you're active and exercising. There's a discount for that. Oftentimes there are discounts if you're willing to pay your premiums all up front in a year rather than month to month. And this is why I'm always harping on using an independent agent who is licensed and familiar with your area so that you can get not only the average and compare and shop around the different plans, they'll do that all for you, but then you can find these discounts to save you even more money. When we talk about the supplement plan penetration rate, that is how many people are choosing supplement plans as opposed to Advantage plans or other options. Now, nationally, the average is 21%. Here in Georgia, you're just below that at 19.6%. So a little bit lower than average in terms of who's picking supplement plans. That's not me saying you shouldn't consider them at all. It's just the numbers here in Georgia are a little bit lower than the national average of people picking it. You have the standard rules around switching plans. You want to go from one supplement plan to another, and what that means is that you're going to be experiencing medical underwriting. So what that is you are answering medical questions. If you have good health, then switching should be relatively easy. If you have poor health, then you could either be charged higher than normal rates or you could be denied completely. And that is even if you're going from a Plan G down to a Plan N, you're still going through medical underwriting. Now let's move over to the Advantage plan side of the conversation, and you're following national rules here. So let's talk about 4 things here. So one is your trial rights. Trial rights refer to your ability to use an Advantage plan and then switch back to original Medicare and a supplement plan without going through those medical questions or those medical underwriting. Now, trial rights, there are 2 of them. The first is if you take Medicare at 65, your 65th birthday, and you get an Advantage plan. If that is the case, then you have a 12-month window to try that Advantage plan, and you can switch back to original Medicare and a supplement plan without medical underwriting if you so choose. Remember, this is only at your 65th birthday. Your Part A, your Part B, and the Advantage Plan effective date have to have the same start date, and this really only happens at your birthday, because if you get Medicare after your 65th birthday, Part A backdates 6 months or to your 65th birthday month, whichever is closest. So if you're after your 65th birthday month, then you're getting a gap in those, and this trial right does not apply. Now, the second trial right applies at any age. So if you go on Medicare and your first choice is a supplement plan, so even if you go on Medicare at 67, 68, 80, and your first choice is a supplement plan, in the future, if at any time you want to switch off of that supplement plan onto an Advantage plan, you can do so, and then you have a 12-month window where you can try that Advantage plan, and then if you don't like it, you can switch back to your supplement plan without medical underwriting. If you go longer than that 12 months though, then your next option would be either going through medical underwriting, which again, you're answering medical questions, you could be denied, or if your health is good, then you can be approved. But again, a lot of people are making that decision to switch from an Advantage plan to a supplement plan because something has gone wrong and they want that extra coverage. And so getting one might be a little bit difficult. The other way to get one is if there's a special election period, and the most common one is if you are moving out of your coverage area for your Advantage plan. Another common one is if your Advantage plan is removed from your area. So some insurance companies will have an Advantage plan in an area, and then they will remove it from that area. If that is the case, then you have that opportunity to jump on original Medicare and a supplement plan again without a medical underwriting, or you can just pick up another Advantage plan, whichever one suits you best. When we look at Advantage plans, we're looking at the maximum out-of-pocket risk for you. So this is a number that everybody kind of latches onto, and this is your maximum risk in a given year that you would pay. Once you meet your maximum out-of-pocket, the insurance company covers 100% of any approved charges. So nationally, the average maximum out-of-pocket is $5,000 for the year. Here in Georgia, it's lower at $4,300 as the average. Again, it is an average, which means there could be some that are higher. You'll find some that are lower, but the average is lower than national, and that's a good thing. And especially around Atlanta, you're going to be finding stronger Advantage plans with lower maximum out-of-pocket. Let's talk about the Advantage plan penetration rate. Nationally, it's 50%. So 50% of all people are choosing Advantage plans. Here in Georgia, it is 54%. So you're slightly above the national average. This is not me advocating that you plan. That's just the numbers here that we see in Georgia. And the math person watching this is going to notice that we have 54% for Advantage plans, 19% for supplement plans. That doesn't add up to 100%. What that means is that you have other people who are choosing other options. That could be original Medicare only. That could be they qualify for Medicare and Medicaid at the same time. That could be FEHB, federal benefits, VA, TRICARE for life, or they could have an employer that has some sort of a retiree plan that they are on. So that's why the numbers aren't adding up to 100%. There are a lot of other options here, but most commonly people are choosing between Advantage and supplement plans. Now, again, I highly recommend using an independent agent to help you with this. Even if it's not us, use our competitors to help you with this Medicare process and getting on these plans, and find the one that fits well for you. I do have partners who are licensed and familiar here in Georgia who can help you. If you want our help, feel free to reach out to me. My email is in the description of this video, or you can go to theretirementnerds.com. Now, I like to leave secret messages at the end of all of these videos just to make sure that we're on the same page here and that you've made it to the end before I take comments too seriously. And when I think of Georgia, I think of peaches, and we're going to go try some Georgia peaches here in a second. But if you leave a comment about your favorite fruit, then I'll know that you've made it at least this far. All right, I'm off to explore Savannah, Georgia a little bit more with the family. This place is absolutely amazing, and thank you for making it this far. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It helps more than you know. I will see you in the next video.